everybody. It's Daniel here, and welcome to Emotional English Podcast, where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Another day, another chance to learn English. So that's the podcast where you speak English effortlessly. Not me, not somebody else, but you are gonna speak very nicely after all. So, guys, first of all, I want to say some updates and some news to you guys. I want to deliver some last news and what's new, actually. So we've got a nice event finished not so long time ago. So it was the Emotional English Club community meeting on the last Sunday. So we had a nice conversation about philosophy, about life in general. So we had practiced some great vocab. We had experienced interesting communication. So it was quite fun. Of course, if you want to participate our club meetings, you can follow our group. It's on Telegram, emotional. I still don't remember how do you call this dash, but on the bottom dash English, emotional bottom dash English on Telegram, or just type in the searching bar Emotional English, and just subscribe on our chat, right? Not chat, to our community group, right? And I do have an account on Boosty where you can subscribe and receive extra content if you're the Subscriber Plus member, or you can just support our podcast and donate some money to us, and I'm going to have even more motivation to make these podcast episodes for you guys. But today is the day where I finally recording the reading club episode. So today I'm continuing reading The Alchemist, and another piece of text I'm reading today is from the book Alchemist, Paulo Coelho again. And we had discussed the last time about that the guy is coming to the lady who can interpret the dreams, right? So, and the guy is coming to visit this lady, this fortune teller lady. And today we discuss what's going on there, right? So we continuing reading. It's not a long text here, but it's quite interesting. While I'm reading, I will try to do my best, and I will interpret the language as more as I can to make it more effective and efficient for our progression, okay? So let's begin. The old woman led the boy to a room at the back of her house. It was separated from her living room by a curtain of colored beads. Or beds. 1 second. I need to double check this one real quick. Let me play the audio file for you guys. I think it's beads, right? If I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 sec. I'll check. Yeah, the beads. That's right. Okay, the beads. I'll read again. The old woman led the boy to a room at the back of her house. It was separated from her living room by a curtain of colored beads. The room's furnishings consisted of table, an image of Sacred Heart of Jesus, and 2 chairs. It's the first paragraph, and we can now discuss it. We have the old woman. Probably it's the place the guy had arrived to the old woman. She's a fortune teller, like I said before. And the woman led the boy to a room. What does it mean when you led someone to somewhere? You know who is a leader, right? The leader leading you somewhere. So led, it's the past tense. So the woman led the boy to a room, so kind of leading him to the place where they're going to talk. And this room was at the back of her house. It was separated from her living room, right? And it was not a wall, it was a curtain. Curtain is not a wall. It's like material. And, curtains are used just near, you have your curtains very close to your window, right? To block the sun. So the curtains are created for blocking the sun and make the sun more comfortable, the sunlight. But in this situation, the curtain was dividing the living room. And it was not just a curtain. It was the curtain of colored beads. And the colored beads, it's like a plasticky things, which are kind of decorative. So if you see the colored beads, the little girls, they can make these beads bracelets, right? The bead bracelet. You have like a silk, and then on the silk, you put some beads, the colorful ones, the plastic little ones. And then girls make the bracelets, right? That's the beads. And the curtain had different colored beads on it. And the room, inside of this room, we had some furnishing, right? Or furnishings, how we have here. So furnishings, it's like some furniture there. And it was a table, an image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. It's a beautiful picture with heart of Jesus, right? Sacrificed or sacred. And two chairs, right? That's all what we have. Probably this entourage is for beautiful storytelling or fortune telling. Let's go to the next paragraph. The woman sat down and told him to be seated as well. Then she took both of his hands in hers and began quietly to pray. So the woman sat down, and the woman told the boy to be seated as well. So she asked him to sit down. And then she took two hands of our person, of our guy, of our boy, of our shepherd, and she began quietly to pray. What does it mean to pray? To pray, it's a verb when you say some words to God, right? You say, "Dear Jesus Christ, my Lord," right? This is the beginning of the pray. When you pray, you give some TED talk to the God, right? So when you give a speech to the God, that's your pray. Dear God, the merciful God, please give us health and please give us money. So that's the pray. But the pray is not all. Let's go to the next paragraph. It sounded like a gypsy prayer. Who is a gypsy? Gypsy is the person, it's the type of person, we call it info gypsies. It's the people who sell different courses, and these courses are fake. They're not working at all. So we call them info gypsies. But gypsy in general, it's this kind of people who asking your hand, and they always offer you fortune telling, right? So you call them gypsies. Mostly it's ladies near the train stations or close to very crowded places, right? You see a lot of gypsies. In Garachi Cluj, we have many gypsies. You can see them all around the city. But now, last 5 or 4 months, I haven't been seeing them for a while. But it's good. It's good. But gypsies, they have very strange culture, right? What I think, and very strange lifestyles. So it sounded like a gypsy prayer. So it was not like a normal Christian prayer. It was a gypsy prayer. And the boy had already had experience on the road with gypsies. So the boy had experience with gypsies. He had seen them. And they also traveled, but they had no flocks of sheep. Gypsies were traveling as well, but without sheep. People said that gypsies spent their lives tricking others. It was also said that they had a pact with the devil and that they kidnapped children and taking them away to their mysterious camps made them their slaves. As a child, the boy had always been frightened to death that he would be captured by gypsies. And this childhood fear returned when the old woman took his hand in hers. So this is a pretty big paragraph, right? The biggest we've mentioned before as we analyze. But look, let's go step by step. We have a discussion started, and this lady is not just the lady, is not just the fortune teller. She's a gypsy because the boy recognized her because she was praying in a very specific way. And the boy said that this gypsy sounded like a gypsy the prayer sounded like a gypsy prayer, right? It was not standard one. And the boy had already had experience with these different gypsies all around the place when he had been traveling. But they had no flocks of sheep at all. That's what he had mentioned. So gypsies had traveled, but without flocks of sheep. And many people said that gypsies spent their lives tricking others. It means lying others, tricking others, giving wrong things, like scammers, like fraudsters. So fraudster or scammer, it's a person who is tricking people, who are lying to people. And to be honest, in our culture, it's the same idea. So probably it's how you call it? It's like it's a stereotype, right, about gypsies. But gypsies, people always trick people. They always lie, right, trying to say the future or fortune tell you something. But, classically, it's a trick. It was also said that they had a pact with the devil. So, of course, this is a little bit exaggeration, I guess, right? Exaggeration is when something is bigger than it is, right? People believed or had believed that they had a pact with the devil. What does it mean, the pact with the devil? So they made a deal with the devil, with the Satan, right? And who is the devil? It's the opposite of God, right? So we have two powers. It's the devil and the Satan, or the God, or Jesus Christ, for example, right? And gypsies, people believed that gypsies had made a pact, had made an agreement with the devil, and that they kidnapped children. Kidnapping means stealing kids' bodies, and secretly doing that, and taking them away to their mysterious camps. So gypsies, they had very strange camps, strange places where they live. And they made them their slaves. What does it mean, slave? Slaves is the people without freedom. So if you are a slave, let's imagine the person who is a slave, he has no freedom. He has no possibility to do things what he wants or she wants. Slave is a completely lost his or her own freedom, right? That's a slave. As a child, the boy had always been frightened to death that he would be captured by gypsies. So, and our boy, he was very frightened. He was frightened to death, right? It means he was very scared of that he would be captured by gypsies. Capturing is the same as kidnapping in this context, right? When someone captures you, it means now you are captured, you're kidnapped, and you have no way to go out, right? Because somebody captured you. And this childhood fear returned when the old woman took his hands in hers. Imagine the lady asking your hands, you giving her both hands, and she's starting mumbling jumbling there, like, oh, dear Jesus, something like that. And you never know what she's talking of, because sometimes she uses her own language, gypsy language or whatever. Some abracadabra, and you never know what gibberish is this. But let's continue the reading, the next paragraph. But she has the Sacred Heart of Jesus there, he thought, and trying to reassure himself. He didn't want his hand to begin trembling and showing the old woman that he was fearful. He recited an Our Father silently. Okay, so that's the end of the next paragraph. Let's go ahead, but now with comments, right? But she has the Sacred Heart of Jesus there, he thought, trying to reassure himself. So the boy was like sitting down, a little bit scared, and then he was like, hey, guys, at least this girl has this beautiful picture with Jesus's heart, I guess. So that's kind of good, I guess, right? So he was trying to reassure himself. Reassuring is like when you are trying to give yourself some proofs that everything is going well. So you can reassure yourself that things are fine, right? I can reassure you that while you're listening this podcast, you're automatically subconsciously learning the language, because your mind is working you're concentrating what I'm trying to say, and you are not flushing, but you are like sucking the language in, right? It's kind of good. I can reassure you about this. So the boy was reassuring himself that the lady is not that bad because the picture on the wall says that she loves Jesus and Jesus is good, right? At least this is a Christian leader. So he didn't want his hand to begin trembling. He didn't want to shake, like, oh my God, the lady's holding my hands. And, people in this situation, you start tremble, I guess. And that's what had happened probably with the boy. And it's not all. He doesn't want to show the old woman that he was fearful, right? He doesn't want to show that he's scared. He recited Our Father silently. What does it mean recited, right? Recited means when you repeat something, right? And there is a pray, like a prayer, right? It's called Our Father. Our Father, our, God, dear God, right? We have this Our Father prayer in Russian as well. And this is the most popular prayer you can ever find, right? On the internet or somewhere. So it's the first thing you learn when you become a Christian, probably. And that's the first prayer and the most powerful prayer, what people use, right? Very interesting, said the woman. We continue the reading. Very interesting, said the woman, never taking her eyes from the boy's hand. And then she fell silent. So she was like commenting her thoughts, probably, right? She was touching the boy's hands and just mumbling, jumbling. Very interesting. I see the future, right? That's what's going on. And the boy was becoming nervous. He was like, hey, what's going on? Why this lady is saying very interesting, right? The boy was becoming nervous. His hands began to tremble like, oh my God. Now the trembling's happening. And the woman sensed it. She realized, oh, the boy is scared. He quickly pulled his hands away. So the boy, he couldn't make it. He said, he probably did something. Hey, give my hands back. I don't want you to do this. So he quickly pulled his hands away. When you pull your hands away, you're getting them back probably. And then they started the conversation, I guess. I didn't come here to have you read my palm, the boy said. Palm is the part of your hand. And the boy was already regretting having come, right? What had happened already. He thought for a moment that it would be better to pay her fee and leave without learning a thing. That he was giving too much importance to his recurrent dream. That's the next paragraph. I didn't come here to have you read my palm, right? I don't want you to read my palm. I don't want you to touch my hands. He was regretting giving his hands to this lady, to this gypsy. And he thought for a moment, for one moment, that it would be better to pay her a fee, like a payment, and leave without learning a thing, without even knowing why he is there. That he was giving too much importance to his recurrent dream. He was thinking too much. He was giving too much importance to his recurrent dream. What does it mean, recurrent dream? It means repeated. So he had this dream again and again and again. Probably it's connected with his own emotions. And he was asking the lady, hey, why do I have this dream? It's kind of strange, all right? So that's what had happened. You came so that you could learn about your dreams, said the old woman. And dreams are the language of God. When he speaks in our language, I can interpret what he has said. But if he speaks in the language of the soul, it is only you who can understand. But whichever it is, I'm going to charge you for the consultation. That's what the gypsy says. Okay, what else you expect from the gypsy? So again, let's comment now. You came so that you could learn about your dream. So she's just commenting his questions, probably, right? His speeches. And then she's saying, look, you had come here, right? And dreams, she starts to gives her own understanding of dreams. She says that dreams are the language of God. So if the dreams showed to you, it means the God wants to say something to you, right? When he speaks, when the God speaks in our language, I can interpret the language, what he has said. But if he speaks in the language of the soul, not the normal language, it is only you who can understand that. So she cannot interpret this. You should interpret this. How convenient, isn't it? So how convenient. Oh, sorry, guys. It's not the language of the God. It's the language of your soul. I cannot understand that. So convenient to say that. Hey, guys, do you want me to story or to fortune tell you? So, but you know what? The problem is I can tell you the future, but this is the language of your soul. You should understand that, not me. Okay, now you should pay me 300 rubles per consultation, or just donate money to our podcast. Go to Boosty and donate our money. Okay, money to ourselves. So she proclaimed all of that nonsense. And we continue next with the last but not least paragraph. Another trick, the boy thought, but he decided to take a chance. A shepherd always takes his chances with wolves and with droughts, right? 1 second. I need to double check this pronunciation. I don't want to misinterpret you. Droughts, of course. So droughts. I will start again. Another trick, the boy thought, but he decided to take a chance. A shepherd always takes his chances with wolves and with droughts, and that's what makes a shepherd's life exciting. The idea of this paragraph is pretty simple. All what the lady had said, right? It was just a trick of a gypsy, the boy thought, right? But the boy decided to take a chance. He decided that I need to get at least something, because when you don't have anything, it's nothing. So you cannot work with this. A shepherd always take his chances with wolves and with droughts, right? What is a drought? It's the moments of life when you have, I would say, the moments of thirst, right? Or when you have no rains, right? That's a drought, the drought period, right? When you have no water around, that's a drought as well. So no water around and you're thirsty, that's a drought. So in these different situations, like if you have wolves, it's pretty dangerous for the flock or flocks, right? And droughts is pretty dangerous too, because your flock wants to drink water and you want to drink water as well. It's an essential thing for living. And that's what makes a shepherd's life exciting, because you always have these challenges in life. And that's quite interesting. Okay, we've got this done, right? So let me mark it as our last word. And then I will read the whole paragraph. The whole text again, but without extra comments now. I will just read it beautifully. I will try to read it beautifully and make it nice for you guys, okay? Let's repeat the whole thing now. So we'll listen from the beginning until the end. The old woman led the boy to a room at the back of her house. It was separated from her living room by a curtain of colored beads. The room's furnishings consisted of a table, an image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and 2 chairs. The woman sat down and told him to be seated as well. Then she took both of his hands in hers and began quietly to pray. It sounded like a gypsy prayer. The boy had already had experience on the road with gypsies. They also traveled, but they had no flocks of sheep. People said that gypsies spent their lives tricking others. It was also said that they had the pact with the devil, and that they kidnapped children and taking them away to their mysterious camps, made them their slaves. As a child, the boy had always been frightened to death that he would be captured by gypsies, and this childhood fear returned when the old woman took his hands in hers. But she has the sacred heart of Jesus there. He thought, trying to reassure himself, he didn't want his hand to begin trembling, showing the old woman that he was fearful. He recited an Our Father silently. Very interesting, said the woman, never taking her eyes from the boy's hands, and then she fell silent. The boy was becoming nervous. His hands began to tremble, and the woman sensed it. He quickly pulled his hands away. I didn't come here to have you read my palm, the boy said, already regretting having come. He thought for a moment that it would be better to pay her a fee and leave without learning a thing, that he was giving too much importance to his recurrent dream. You came so that you could learn about your dreams, said the old woman. And dreams are the language of God. When he speaks in our language, I can interpret what he has said. But if he speaks in the language of the soul, it is the only you who can understand. But whichever it is, I'm going to charge you for the consultation. Another trick, the boy thought, but he decided to take a chance. A shepherd always takes his chances with wolves and with droughts, and that's what makes a shepherd's life exciting. Okay, that's the all for today, guys. So we had finished another little piece of the Alchemist book. It was quite nice. I hope you'd love it, and I hope you would find it very interesting. And I hope it was a very nice time we had together here. So please subscribe to my all channels. Follow my social networks, right? Subscribe and donate to our podcast, and live a happy life with your English progression. I see you very soon, and I hope to see you this week, probably Sunday, all right? So let's learn English together. Let's learn emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively, and you will see your result very, very soon. Thank you all, and see you next. Bye-bye.